The man was shocked to discover that his usually dull and boring wife was dancing pole dance on the dance floor. In the past 5 years of their marriage, the woman had been gentle and considerate, but always lifeless like a piece of wood. Now, she suddenly seemed like a completely different person, passionate and fiery, impossible to look away from. Her transformation stirred jealousy in the man. Unbeknownst to him, her change was all because of him. A week ago, as soon as the woman got home, she caught her husband and son celebrating the return of his first love. Watching the three of them embrace sweetly, she felt like an outsider. Even her son said the first love was more beautiful and capable than her, and that he hoped she could become his new mother. In that moment, the woman woke up to reality. 5 years of marriage hadn't earned her a place in her husband's heart, and the son she had raised with love had also betrayed her. Panicked, the woman could only run out of the house. Alone in the heavy rain, she broke down and cried bitterly. Unexpectedly, she was hit by a speeding car. When she woke up, she was already lying in the hospital. Thinking back to what happened the night before, she decided to pretend to have amnesia to test her husband. She deliberately asked him who he was. The man answered without hesitation, saying he was just a friend. Hearing that, the woman saw clearly how little she meant to him. Just then, their son suddenly rushed in. He didn't show a bit of concern for his mother, and instead urged his father to visit the first love together. The man, who no longer wanted to see his wife, left with his son without looking back. Watching their backs, the woman felt completely hopeless. She decided to keep up the act. A month later, she recovered and was discharged from the hospital. Only her husband's secretary came to pick her up, but she no longer cared. As soon as she got home, the housekeeper asked her, "The father and son will be home soon. Should madam start cooking now?" The woman replied with a question. "Why should I cook myself?" The housekeeper was shocked by her unusual reaction. The secretary whispered that the woman had lost her memory in the accident and remembered nothing. Just then, the man returned home. He habitually handed his coat to his wife. The woman reached out instinctively, but remembering her act of amnesia, she questioned him. "Why does everyone say we're married?" The man replied that they were just friends. He even said that their marriage was a mistake, that there was no love between them, and that even the son was an accident. Hearing her husband's words, the woman lost her last shred of affection for him. She immediately asked for a divorce, but the man did not agree. He mocked her as nothing but a housewife and said she would have nothing without him. Little did he know, the woman had already made up her mind. She would no longer be a servant to the father and son. She was going to live as her true self. She threw away the clothes her husband liked and got rid of the curls he preferred. She returned to the version of herself before the marriage. When the man noticed her change, he looked annoyed and told her to change back to her old clothes. The woman retorted immediately, saying it was her freedom to wear whatever she wanted and that he had no right to interfere. Even their son chimed in, saying that no matter how she dressed, she would never be as pretty as the first love, and he still wanted her to be his new mother. Hearing this, the woman's heart shattered again. She once again asked her husband for a divorce so the father and son could get what they wanted, but the man insisted they talk about it only after she regained her memory. The woman said she was perfectly clear-headed and only wanted a quick divorce. That night, she went out to relax with friends. When her friends learned she had faked amnesia to ask for a divorce, they sighed that she had finally woken up. They said the man was a total jerk. He clearly loved his first love, yet still married her. The next second, the first love suddenly walked up to her, mocking her as a stalker who followed the man wherever he went. The woman no longer stayed silent. She announced publicly that the first love was the third party in her marriage. She assured her that the divorce was already on its way. She even asked the first love to help persuade the man to agree to the divorce quickly. After that, she stepped onto the stage and started dancing hotly, immediately attracting every man's gaze. Watching his wife shine so brightly, the man felt a pang of jealousy and regret. There was no trace of him left in her eyes. Hearing the praise from her friends, the man could no longer bear being ignored, so he deliberately pulled the power switch and carried her away in the cover of darkness. He tried to use intimacy to rekindle her love for him, but the woman told him she no longer loved him at all. She hoped he would face reality and proceed with the divorce. Unable to win her back, he could only pretend to stay calm and leave. The next morning, while the woman was still asleep, she was woken by a call from her mother-in-law, who demanded she return to the estate immediately. The old version of her would have tried to please her, but now she simply hung up and went back to sleep. Furious, the mother-in-law called her son, first complaining about the woman, then asked him to bring the woman back that evening to discuss things. In front of her mother-in-law, the woman continued to fake amnesia and said she only wanted to get divorced as soon as possible. The mother-in-law was secretly pleased to hear that, yet said she couldn't interfere in their matters. The woman understood her attitude clearly and once again asked the man for a divorce. The man, irritated, was about to question her, but a call from his first love calmed him down immediately. Though the woman didn't know who had called, his reaction told her it was the first love. Sure enough, after hanging up, he hurried off to see her. The next day, the woman, now back as a perfumer, was invited to attend a dinner party. Just as she was walking with her assistant to meet the host, the man suddenly appeared in front of her.